Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the latest Meet the Brand webinar. We've been doing these for sort of 4 or 5 weeks now. So it's what we tend to do is take a bit of I won't say a dive, but we'll have a look at individual brands, partners that we work with, and how they can support you and your business. So this is the first we've done with I'm going to say SaltPay. SaltPay is the brand, but it's retail merchant services, essentially looking at a simplified payment solutions within include the card payments, but there's a lot more to that. We've got Daniel Armstein, who's from RMS. He's going to be hosting today's webinar and telling you all about what they do. And I suppose the juicy bit, the savings and the rates that we've negotiated, that we've agreed with the guys at RMS to help save you money. So on that note, I'm going to hand over to Daniel. He's going to tell you all about SaltPay, retail merchant services, and what they can do. So Daniel, over to you.
Hi Rob, thank you for that. Hi everyone, my name's Dan. I work for RMS SaltPay, as Rob's just mentioned there. So if you've got any questions, obviously, go through the member area, and there's some information on there, and there's a link on there if you do want to obviously review your rates, or you'd like to look at card terminals moving forward. But just to give you a bit of background, basically RMS SaltPay, we exist to serve local businesses. We basically listen to them, work to understand their problems, and we always put our customers first. Just to give you a bit of background, we have over 50,000 merchants in the UK. RMS was formed in 2007, so we've been in the UK quite a long while now. We've just been acquired by a company called SaltPay, which are a pan-European business. They've got offices in Croatia, Slovakia, Iceland, and Portugal. So we are slowly rebranding the business over to SaltPay, and there's lots of exciting things further down the track, which is really exciting. So I'll just explain exactly what we do in a bit more detail. Get my screen to move. There we go. So yeah, so basically what we do is we provide various card payment solutions. The most predominant one for the gym sector probably will be card terminals, and I'll explain what that looks like in a second. We also offer the pay once option, which allows you guys to actually physically buy a card terminal, which is quite unique in the industry. So if you prefer to buy one outright rather than renting one over a 1 to 3 year term, you can actually buy a terminal outright. We do offer payment gateways as well. So if you do want to take payments online, or if you want to take payments over the telephone via a virtual terminal, we can facilitate that, as well as a pay by link option, which is if you've got invoices that need paying, rather than obviously waiting and emailing and doing by backs transfer, what you can do is you can generate a payment link, which is then emailed to that particular merchant. They then click on that link. It brings up a hosted payment page. They then put their card details in and make the payment. So it's quite slick, and it does what it says on the tin basically. And we also do work with various EPOS suppliers. So if you do need some type of EPOS till solution, we can supply that as well for you. So just to dive into the card terminal side of things, just in case you've never had a card terminal and you're thinking of the different types, there are 4 different types of card terminal. There are a desktop card terminal, which is a fixed unit, usually hardwired via a router or an Ethernet connection or a telephone connection. We also have a Bluetooth terminal, which is a fairly mobile terminal. The base unit is still connected via a router or Wi-Fi, but it is mobile within a certain range of the base unit. We also have a Wi-Fi terminal, which again, very similar to the Bluetooth one, but it runs purely on Wi-Fi. And then we have a fully mobile terminal, which is a GPRS terminal, which is you can use outside. It runs off mobile phone networks. It just switches from the best mobile network to the next, just to keep you connected, so you can take card payments out and about throughout the country. So they're the 4 different types. We also have 4 different contract terms. You can take a card terminal on a month-to-month contract if you like, but we generally tend to promote 1 to 3 year contract terms on that. And the pricing's on the screen. Obviously, if you take the terminal over a longer term, it's slightly cheaper than it is on a shorter term. So from a pricing perspective, we've negotiated some price with independent gyms to give you some quite competitive pricing. I know there are other companies that independent gyms work with that will provide card terminals, but ours tend to be a lot cheaper than that, because just the way that we operate and the way that we work. From a debit card perspective, we're talking a minimum of 0.6 plus a penny for debit cards. Credit cards 0.9, slightly dearer. Commercial debit cards are dearer still. They're at 1%, and commercial credit cards are dearer still than that. It's just that commercial cards generally always have higher processing rates on them, basically due to the fact that they're commercial, and there tends to be some type of benefit to have those type of cards. There is also an authorization fee of a penny on every transaction. So for every transaction you make via your card terminal or online, there will be an authorization fee of a penny. There is PCI charges. Unfortunately, we can't get away from that. If you are operating a card terminal, you do have to be PCI compliant, and for that there is a monthly fee. If you're not compliant, you may also incur other charges. So it's very important that you carry out that annual questionnaire to avoid those additional charges, which we can help you with if you need us to. As I mentioned on the previous slide, terminal rentals are there. And if you want to take card payments online via a payment gateway, the rates are 0.9% across all card types, plus 10p. Where we stand out in the industry really is that we do offer same-day settlement. So if you've got cash flow issues and you want settlement same day, there is a little bit of a manual process around that, but we can actually, if you take the payment before 3 p.m, we can make the payment into your account by 7 o'clock that day, which is quite unique. Standard settlement terms are next day, so if you take a payment today, you'll get it next day. So if you're not that bothered about same day and it's not that important to you, that's the standard settlement terms. We can buy out existing contracts. So if you've got an existing contract with somebody like WorldPay or Barclaycard, for instance, they tend to only tie people in for 12-month contracts. So if you know you're really unhappy, or if you want to make some savings potentially, then we can buy out your existing contracts, but you would need to go on a 3-year contract for us to be able to do that. We can assist you with any acquirer queries from the bank. We've got a dedicated setup team that will help you with the installation side of things. And if you do want some additional business finance, we can offer that through the card terminal. So anything you process through the card terminal, what happens is we just take a percentage of that to repay any upfront loan that we would lend you based on the levels of card processing that you're doing through the terminal. So we can help you with business finance if that's something of interest. We are very flexible in the way they operate, and we basically look after all our customers as well as gym owners on an individual basis. So that's where we stand out as an organisation. So it was just questions now. So has anybody got any questions, or anybody? I don't know if there's anybody live on the actual feed today, but if you've got any questions, feel free to reach out. But all our details are on the member area under the SaltPay section. There is a link on there. If you click on the link, we'll give you some more information. And if you do want somebody from our telesales team to contact you, just complete that form. It's basically first name, last name, last name, telephone number, email, and company name, and just a bit of information in the initial info box, and just hit send. What will happen then is that data will automatically push through into our caller in the telesales team in Milton Keynes, and they will give you a ring and discuss your query in a bit more detail. So, okay.
Sounds good, Dan. Sounds good. I've just got to. I normally ping some questions through at the end myself, but I've literally scrolled down 2 bits that kind of stand out to me. The obvious one is the rates, that 0.6% rate. And I think take a comparison to Zettel and SumUp, I think, who we partner with, they're 1.75 starting, giving us 1.5 for our members. So it's quite a chunky saving there, which is what we're about, is saving owners money. So that's a great sort of great perk. So that's the one. And then the other bit that stood out is the buying out of the contracts. And I think if you are tied in, it's an option of moving sooner. So I think that's a great feature as well. So.
Yeah, no, agreed. No, it's a really, most providers do that, to be fair. Obviously, Isaac and somewhat won't, but the vast majority of the larger players do offer contract buyouts. But yeah, it's a good way for people to, if they're either having issues and they just think, oh, I need to move away, or they just think, oh, I want to review the rates, I think I'm paying too much, what can you do? And if we can save them some money, then it's a bit of a no-brainer for people.
Yeah, definitely. That's what it's all about. And on that timing, nobody can see, but my dog is sat on the window like normal, and he's just starting to get restless. But yeah, I think you literally answered every question I had. We'll drop the link in when we post the video in the group. We'll have the link below to inquire, to reach out to you direct. I think there's some savings to be had for some of our members. Obviously, the busier they are and the more PDQ card payments they take, the more they're going to save. So it's going to be hopefully a great partnership moving forward, and save some Jim some money. So Dan, thank you very much for your time.
No problem at all.
And we'll catch up soon.
Yeah, super. Thanks, Rob. Thanks everyone.
Dan.
Take care.